There we go. Welcome everybody to Sunday Ukulele. Cheers! Cheers to another beautiful Sunday with coffee. Lots of coffee. All right, so to start off with, well, I'll review what we're going to do today. Okay. And just so you know, my camera's having a hard time with my black shirt and my white whiteboard, but that's just the way it's going to be today. We're going to start off today with that natural minor scale, played on strings 1 and 2. Okay. And as we did last week, you can play a little bit of the scale and then hit a chord, right? And I put out some chord suggestions. These are just suggestions. You can do more. I mean, you could hit a C chord if you wanted. F chord. I just like these ones. They're some of my favorite chords, so that's why I've got those written there. So what we'll do to start off with is we'll play these frets on our second string, and then we'll go and play it on our first string. You can play it all with your thumb if you want. You can play it with your finger, whatever suits you. And for my friends that have joined me on the YouTube live stream, if you have any questions, put them in comments. I'll be watching for those. I'm also going to put the, if you want to join us on Zoom, there you go. Come on in. And I'll watch for people that may want to join us there. All right, so we're all tuned up. Let's do this. We'll do 4 plucks per. And I know last week I'd also talked about taking chunks of notes that you like to play around with. And we can come up with some ideas that way too, okay? Okay, so here we go. String 2 to start, which is our E string. And I'm just going to play with my thumb. 4 plucks per. 1, 2, 3, 4. Open. Now to 2. To 3. Okay, now up to 5. To 7. Now up to 8. Now to 10. To 12. Okay, back down to 10. Now to 8. To 7. Now to 5. To 3. To 2. And open. I have a quick question for you guys. When I did my sound check earlier, I was closer to my microphone. I'm away from my microphone now. Can you guys still hear me okay? Thumbs up? Oh, thank goodness. Okay, I just had a sudden panic. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've moved. All right, let's do string 1 now, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Open. Now to 2. To 3. Now to 5. To 7. Here comes 8. To 10. To 12. Back down to 10. To 8. 7. 5. Now to 3. To 2. And open. Okay, did that feel okay for you guys? Like you were moving up and down okay? Now we're going to break it into parts. I think what we'll do is we'll play 0-2-3 on string 2 and 0-2-3 on string 1, okay? And we'll play each one 4 times to get used to it, and then we'll slowly cut down the number of times we play each note, okay? So on string 2, 0, 2, 3, and then right to string 1, 0, 2, 3. And then we'll go back down, okay? Here we go, 1, 2, 3, 4. String 2, open. And now 2. And now 3. And now open on string 1. And now 2. Okay, and now still on string 1 to fret 3. Back to fret 2. And now open on string 1. String 2, fret 3. Fret 2. And now open. Okay, here's something that I want you guys to think about. That fret 5 on string 2, if you play it, and then play your first string open, it's the same note. So this is where that 5, 7, 8 on string 2, 5, 7, 8 equals 0, 2, 3 on string 1. Yeah, so it's the same notes. I feel like we were just doing a math equation. X equals. What it amounts to is you start to have freedom. You can decide where you want to play these notes, right? So we know that that first string open is A. Now, that tells me that we also know that that 5th fret note there is A. And you know what note or what chord sounds really good with an A? And, ooh, those both sound really nice with that. Do this, you guys, just as an aside, as we're talking about this, play for yourself 0, 2, 3, 5 on your second string, and then play your A minor chord when you're ready. Okay, I'll demonstrate something you could do. Right? Because that A just matches up nice with that A minor. I could do the same thing and end on a D minor. Ooh, sounds so fancy. So that's something where, if you want to play around with melody notes, you know, like we were doing last week, this just gives you a little bit more guidance, right? Where, because that note there on the second string is an A, if you end on that note, you might want to hit one of those two guys open. You know, when I say open, I mean just the open position chords that I've got written there. You don't have to, though. Okay, it's just something that I wanted you to think about. Now, we've done the 0, 2, 3 here. Let's do it a little bit faster, though. Let's play 1 pluck per, okay? But it won't be super fast. It'll be like this. 1, 2. Here we go. Second string open. Now to 2. To 3. First string open. Now to 2. Now to 3. Back down to 2 on that first string. Now open. Second string, fret 3, 2. Oh, and after I do that, I love to play the E minor. Ooh. Because what's, can anybody type in the comments what the name of that second string is? I know, now it's music theory. What am I doing? I'm looking in the comments, in the chat. Somebody's going to be, oh yeah, see, it's an E, right? E minor. Oh, that sounds nice together. Also, though, you've got an open E there too, so either one sounds good. And this is where you just play around. So you have your morning coffee and you make up your own tunes. Okay. Now let's do the same thing with our morning coffee, making up our own tunes with 5, 7, 8 on strings 2 and 1. Okay. We'll do 4 plucks per, and I'm not going to talk as much about music theory now. I'm done with that. Let's just play. Okay, on 5. Leslie, that's a good idea. I'm going to have a sip of coffee too. Yes. Donna, hello. Donna has joined us. Oh, and she's got her yellow ukulele. Donna can play a really good fiddle. She was out at my place with my Auntie Colleen, and that's where I met her. And we had a nice little musical get-together. That was really cool. Donna, thank you so much for joining us today. All right, so she's pretty fancy with the violin. If I remember right, violin and a piano background, I believe. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. All right, and away she goes with the ukulele. So lots of scales right now, Donna, but just go with us on the scales. Yeah, thumbs up. That's right. Classical background. Go for the scales. Okay, 5, 7, 8. String 2. 4 plucks per. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the 5. Okay, now on the 7. Now on the 8. Okay, now to 5 on the first string. Now 7. And now 8. Okay, back down to 7 on that first string. Now 5. Now to 8 on that second string. Now to 7. And now to 8 or 5. Okay, and take your pick a chord that you want to hit. They're all going to sound pretty nice there, right? What I want to do now is do the same thing again, but I want to do it as just one single pluck per. Okay. Let me just take a quick little peek here. Yeah, we're good. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. 5, 7, 8. Now to string 1. 5, 7, 8. Back down to 7. To 5. Second string 8, 7, 5. A minor strum. Ready? You guys do it. When you feel like you're ready, try it a little faster on your own. Okay. Oh, I can see some fingers moving around pretty quick there. Oh, you guys, that's awesome. All right, now the 10-12 part can sometimes sound kind of lonely. I often throw in the 8 in there, but let's just do the 10-12 first. We'll do 10-12 on both strings, and then we'll do 8-10-12 on both strings. Okay, 10-12 by itself is kind of a nice fingering pattern. Okay, so for this, I've got my first finger up on that 10th fret on string 2, and we'll just play a single note per this time, just slow. Okay, so it'll be 10-12, 10-12. 1, 2, 3, 4. 10 on the second string, and then 12. First string, 10, and then 12. Back down to 10. 12 on the second string, and then to 10. Let's hit, I don't know, let's do our E minor chord after that. If you don't remember your E minor, looks like little stairs. So you play the scales up and down, find notes you like in that little pattern, just play with it. This is where there's nothing that's going to be wrong with what you're doing, right? Because it's just a way to express yourself musically, make your own conversation in a musical sense on your instrument. Now, you could also do 8, 10, 12 on each string. Let's try that now, okay? So fingering might feel kind of weird. In this case, I've just spread out my fingers like this. so I can hit them all. Do what feels right for you. And let's just do a single pluck again per 1, 2, 3, 4. On your 8, on that second string, now 10, now 12. First string, fret 8, and then 10, and then 12. Okay, back down to 10, then to 8. Now 12 on the second string, then 10, and then 8. Ah. I hit a C chord after that. That sounded kind of nice with the C chord. Be open to trying different chords. Okay. Other ones that I would recommend with this one would be C. F might sound nice, hey? Depending on what you're playing, what you're doing. Just be open to different ideas, right? C, F, and a chord that sounds nice with C and F would be a G or a G7, right? Whichever chord shape you like. Okay. So what I'm going to do right now is I want you guys to just take a couple minutes and play around with this idea. Whether you go up and down one string, play whatever you want, and then hit whatever chord you want. These are the recommended, suggested ones, not really recommended, suggested, right? So whichever string, or maybe you like the idea of combining the two strings, right? Play around with it. For ideas about what you could do, repeated notes, slides. If you're not sure about slides, if you've joined me and you're like, oh, slides, Tina, what are you talking about? Okay, just as a quick review, I'm just going to hit the 5th fret here. And I'm going to play. And I'm just going to slide my finger. I'm going to keep that pressure on the string onto the fretboard. And I'm sliding, taking my thumb along with me for this. And making sure I land where I want to land, right behind that fret. So in this case, I'm headed to the 7th fret. You can have so much fun with those slides. So sliding you could do. We've done some bending, right? You could try bending. 7th fret bending till it sounds like the 8th fret is fun. So what I did there, if I remember right, I bent a couple times. And I just played around with the 7 and 5 frets. Depends on the sound you want. That was a little bit more of a rockier sound, right? Rather than like a romantic Spanish sound. So slides. Repeated notes. I don't know if you guys can see. Oh yeah, you can see it. Bends. And vibrato, right? Where you just kind of wiggle your finger on the fret. So don't worry about playing every single note. Just horse around with it, right? Okay, so what I would like to do is open it up and see if anybody has any sound that they've come up with that they like. If they wanna share it, now is the perfect time. And there is no pressure to do this. But I'll have a sip of coffee and just wait and see if anyone has found anything they like. Okay, here's my idea then. I play, I'm going to play something, and then we're going to have a conversation back and forth just this way. So I'll come up with a little melodic line, and when I'm done playing, I'm going to hit a chord, and I'm going to say, "It's your turn," by strumming the chord 3 times, so you'll hear that, okay? And that'll be your turn to play around for a little bit. Now, what I'll do is I'll just give, I'll tap a little bit, and then I'll just say it's my turn, and then I'll come back in and play, okay? Okay, so it's my turn right now. So I'm going to start off with an A minor, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do. It might work out, it might not. We'll find out, right? Okay, you guys play around a little bit. I'll keep an eye on the cameras there. Give you a little bit of time. Okay. I'm going to play again, so you guys hit "It's your turn" on your chords. Okay, whichever chords you want. Okay, now your turn. Okay, my turn's coming back up. Okay, here we go. Okay, your turn, you guys. Okay, my turn's coming up now. Here we go. Well, that was a short one, hey? When you're talking, your sentences aren't always long. Okay, I'm going again. What will I do? Uh-oh, sad news is what that one sounded like. All right, it's going to be my turn, so you guys hit your chords there. Here we go, my turn now. All right, guys, how did that feel? Were you able to do a little back and forth with me? That's really entertaining, isn't it? Our instruments were having a conversation is what was happening. And you can do it with more of a major sound too. It's just that I find that particular whole thing really fun to do. Now, something else I want to show you guys right now. Some of you have done this with me in the past, so this may be review for some people, maybe new for others. I'm just giving my hands a little stretch right now because they're worn out from all the chainsawing yesterday and dragging of stuff. Oh boy. Okay, so we're going to take that A minor, and we're going to do, remember the pluck, pluck, pluck from Stairway to Heaven? We're going to do 2 plucks, and then we're going to do a pick of strings 1, 2, 3. It's going to be pluck, pluck, 1, 2, 3, pluck, pluck, 1, 2, 3 on your A minor. It's going to sound kind of groovy. Pluck, pluck, 1, 2, 3, pluck, pluck, 1, 2, 3, pluck, pluck, 1, 2, 3. Try it with me. Pluck, pluck, 1, 2, 3, pluck, pluck, 1, 2, 3, pluck. So you don't have to use all your fingers there. You can go just down with 1 finger if you want. Pluck, pluck, 1, 2, 3, pluck, pluck, 1. And if the plucking is a pain, strum, strum, 1, 2, 3. okay too, okay? We're going to do it 4 times in A minor, 4 times on D minor, back to 4 times on A minor, okay? Here we go. I'll just say the rhythm and then we'll play it 4 times in A minor, okay? Pluck, pluck, 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Pluck, pluck, 1, 2, 3. Pluck, pluck, 1, 2, 3. Pluck, pluck, 1, 2, 3. One more time. D minor. Back to A minor. Here we go. 2 more times. Back to D minor. A minor. Okay, ready? Well, we got to end it, right? We can go back and forth all we want, but we got to do something to make it sound like we're coming to an ending. So instead of this E minor, we're going to do one called an E minor 7. Looks like your G7 without your pointer finger. Okay, see that? So try that. Try to do one set of the pluck, pluck, 1, 2, 3 on this E minor 7, and then from there go to your D minor and do a pluck, pluck, 1, 2, 3 on that. Okay. And then we'll go back to A minor, and so it'll sound like this. Pluck, pluck, 1, 2, 3, D minor. Pluck, pluck, 1, 2, 3, A minor. Pluck, pluck, 1, 2, 3, and then just a strum. Okay. I kind of went rocking through that, but I'm going to write it down here. And I'm going to change this to the E minor 7. So I'm going to just write P, P, 1, 2, 3. That'll be our rhythm. Very, very fancy sounding. Another like mathematical kind of equation or something. I don't know. What does P equal? P, P, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Da, 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 da. And really, think about it like this. This is something, again, where you guys can entertain yourselves with a finger picking pattern that's kind of fun to do. 4 times on this, 4 times on this. Use your middle finger as an anchor in between those 2 chords so that you don't have to lift up your fingers and move, right? You're here on your A minor, and then to D minor, you just go like that, right? And then back up, and then back down when you feel ready. Okay, so if we do 4 times, 4 times, and then repeat that. And then the trick is typically with this sort of thing, you'd hit the E minor 7 maybe just one time to have that pressure, that tension build up in the music, and have it indicate that we're heading to a completion of the progression. So you have a quick hop from there to there, and then end on your A minor. What I want you guys to do this week, though, is play around with the chords. Don't worry too much about only doing that one time. Get comfortable with it all, you know, but in particular going back and forth between that, using some of the techniques you've already been learning with these other songs. Okay, so I'm going to play that again. Pluck, pluck, 1, 2, 3, ba, ba, da, da, da. And it, the calypso strum, right? The island strum. Here are the 2 of them fit together, right? Ba, ba, da, 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 ba, ba. So it's a way that if you're playing in a group and other people are strumming and you're like, oh, I've been working on finger picking, what can I do, right? Well, you can use this particular pattern to lay over top of another person's strum pattern if they're doing that island strum. It works out. Da, 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 da. Oh, so much fun. So I have people ask me, well, what are you doing when other people are strumming? You know, what picking pattern are you using? Well, often I use that because it's really fun. All right, so let's do it one more time. And I'm going to slow it down because I feel like I ran through it like maybe I'd had a little too much coffee before this session. Okay, here we go. On your A minor, and I'm going to try to turn this way. I've got my nails super shiny for this too, so you guys can really watch them. And pink, not black. Did anybody notice I've got pink nail polish on? Something different, yeah. All right, here we go. So now our rhythm is going to be pluck, pluck, 1, 2, 3. Slowed right down, okay? Too fast before. Pluck, pluck, 1, 2, 3. Here we go. A minor, pluck, pluck, 1, 2, 3. And again. 2 more times. Okay, line yourself up on that D minor. See how I just keep that middle finger down. Here we go. Pluck, pluck, 1, 2, 3. 2 more times. Back to A minor. Pluck, pluck, 1, 2, 3. Pluck, pluck, 1, 2, 3. Last time. Back to D minor. Ready? Go. 2 more times. Okay, let's head back to that A minor, and then we're going to hit that E minor 7. Ready? A minor 4 times. Let's do it. Last one. E minor 7 looks like your G7 without your pointer finger, right? One time on that. Okay, back to D minor now. See how I walked my finger up? Like that, just kind of crept across the fretboard to get there. Okay, and now A minor, pluck, pluck, and then we'll do a strum. Strum. And then you want, oh, 0, 2, 3, 0, 2, 3, right? Eventually what happens is you can entertain yourself for hours by doing that, by throwing in some of that. It's amazing what you can do with this sort of stuff. It's just take it slow, build up your confidence as you go, right? And get comfortable with moving back and forth on 2 strings with that scale pattern. You know, get comfortable with the chords, and all these little things start to come together. But I would encourage you guys, like I say, even if you don't do all of this, if you go home, or you're already home, when you leave my living room screen, take that pluck, pluck, 1, 2, 3, and apply it to any chord progression you have that you like, okay? So if you have a song in 4/4 time, that's what you want. So like, I don't know. Watch me do it with Dust in the Wind. Well, that sounds cool. I hadn't tried it before right now. But so you can take it with anything. So just, just quickly running through some of Dust in the Wind just to show you that pattern can be really just fun to use with other chord progressions, okay? Oh, that's a lot of technique. Oh, okay, let's just relax for a couple minutes now. Oh, that was a lot of work. So I'm going to have a sip of coffee, and then we're going to do When the Children Cry. Now, I finally wrote out everything. I don't know if you guys saw it on the website, but I took a picture of it, and then I tried to like color it up so it was white, and it came through the same color as my sky outside. Smoky yellow. Oh, it's so gross. It's so gross outside. I was supposed to do more filming outside today, but I don't think I can even see. Yesterday, we live in a valley, right? I couldn't see the mountains. They were gone, covered with smoke. And I think, let me just take a little peek. Yeah, no, there's no. No, I just live in a ball of smoke now, that's all. It'll be okay though, when winter comes. So, the double purpose for this, with me just sitting and having a sip of coffee, is so we can change gears a little bit, get ready for when the children cry. And if anyone has any questions. Oh, Robin, you're getting the smoke from us, aren't you? Oh, but there's a fire and hope too, right? Yeah. Oh. I don't know what I was thinking doing all that yard work yesterday out in the smoke. I eventually wised up and I put a mask on, but oh. Has anybody else got smoke kicking around their place? Leslie, yeah, you've got it too? Oh, so bad. And anybody else? Ren, do you have it at your place? Oh, you do too, yeah. Could I show E minor again? Absolutely, absolutely. So E minor, like there's the E minor 7, which is like the G7 without the pointer finger, but the E minor 7, pardon me, the E minor, looks like stairs. So my fingers that I use for that are 1, 2, and 3. Oh, now the light's in the way a little bit. Okay, just don't, whiteboard, don't fall on me. Don't fall, whiteboard. So that's the, we are seeing and feeling it here in Northern Ontario. Oh, yeah, it's bad, hey? So let's talk about that E minor for a minute here, because it can be kind of tricky to get to it, right? Like from other chords. In a progression like this, well, if I'm going from, say, my D minor to my E minor, what I do is, rather than working on strumming right away and getting stressed out, I go like this. And I watch my hands and see exactly how they need to move to go between chords. Okay. This is where, if I'm, depending on, something to keep in mind, you guys, when you're playing chords, from my perspective, what I do is I become very flexible with my fingering. My fingering will change depending on the chords that are around each other. Okay, so rather than saying to myself, A minor will always be with my middle finger forevermore, I don't say that to myself. If I'm playing A minor to F, sure, it makes sense, or A minor to D minor. But if I'm on E minor and I have to go to A minor, I might just reach across like that. Okay. So I am more of a guidelines person than a rule kind of gal, I would say. The trick there then is, if I have to go to a D minor, I may do this. You might see me do that while I'm playing, right? Like I might be, let's see if I can do it here. See how I switched my fingering as I was playing? You'll see me do that. And I look fidgety, I know that. But what I'm doing, my goal for myself when I'm doing that, is to make my playing as smooth as possible. Because if I'm a bit more comfortable with my fingering, walking around my fretboard like that, then it helps me to relax too. So if someone says to you, well, you have to use your middle finger there, or you have to use a particular fingering, say, well, you know, Tina says that's more of a guideline than a hard and fast rule. Depends. Again, I mean, I always think it depends. So just be flexible with it. Okay? I know, I'm awful. Rule breaker. Rule ignorer, maybe? Depends. It all depends. I mean, I'm wishy-washy with this sort of stuff for a reason, because when I think about the number of times I've hurt one hand, or one finger on my hand where I can't use a finger to make a chord or play a song. And if I am in a situation where I have trained myself to only use one fingering all the time, well, I'm kind of hooped, right? So I like to be flexible. And I mean, you know, these two fingers don't always work the way I want them to. I have to be flexible, you know, otherwise I'm just going to be a stressed out mess. Oh, who wants that? All right, When the Children Cry. You guys ready to go through it? We'll do the first section. Donna hasn't seen this first section, I don't think. And if you are not familiar with the music, you can find it all on my website, tinasmusic.ca, under Sunday Ukulele. I just put it under that to make life easy. So what I'm going to do is do it in two parts. I'm going to review the first part of When the Children Cry. I'll play it, and then I'll put up the I'll share the PDF, and then if you guys have any questions, any clarifications you need or observations you have, then would be a good time. So I'll keep a lookout in the chat, and also you can always unmute yourself and ask a question, right? So When the Children Cry, part 1, I'll play through that, and that's it. Oh look, 1, 2, 3 is how we start that. I'm all about numbers today, I think. Okay, When the Children Cry. I'll play that first part here. And I'm picking with middle, index, and thumb on the 3rd string is what I'm doing for this. And it starts again, right? Now, Sonia, I saw you playing along with me. That's awesome. I think our fingers were moving at the same time. It was so cool. Okay, I'm going to share that screen, and I'm going to play through it again. And if you have any questions while I'm playing, anything that you're like, okay, Tina, what's going on with this or whatever, now's a good time to ask, right? Okay, I'm going to play through it again. Or if you don't have any questions, just play with me. Okay, ready? 1 and 2, and here we go. And open. Line 3. Oops. I kind of went trucking through that one, but that's just mostly a review, right? How are you guys doing with your fingering? What I'm wondering is from going from, say, right here, that 7th fret on the first line there, the end of the first line, to the 10th fret on the next one. Because I know what I do. After all my talk about positions and everything the other week, you know what I realized I do? I use my pointer finger on the 7th fret, and I reach up with my middle finger to the 10th fret. So I bet you everyone's hands are a little bit different with what you do there. As long as you get there, that's what matters, right? It's interesting how we can all be well, our hands are all a little different, right? Okay, I'm going to stop sharing that one, but you guys look like you're doing pretty good with that there. Okay. Now, the new part 2. I've written it out. You know what? I'll just share it right off the bat. Okay. So the first line is what I had written out on the whiteboard last week. And just as a review, just keep in mind that when I've got the numbers written underneath the chords, that just tells you in this way of writing, that just tells you which strings you're going to be plucking, because the finger picking pattern can move. So for people that are new to joining me, sometimes I write it out like this if the finger picking pattern moves around a lot, but the chord position stays one way. And then over with the F chord, we've got just those four strings to pluck there, and then hopping into a little bit of that tablature there. Okay, so let's run through that first line. Okay, we'll play the first line, and then we'll stop, and I'll talk a little bit about the changes that are going to be in that second line. Okay. I'm just checking to see, does anyone have any questions or not yet? Okay, so A minor / B, that's where we're going to have our finger on fret 4 of the 4th string, right? Okay, so I'm just going to line myself up, and here we go. I'll call out the fret numbers. We'll probably play that first line twice, really. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's our strings. 1, 2, 4, 3. 1, 2, 3, 2. E minor sus4. Remember, it looks just like a D minor shape, but just 2 frets up. So I'm just going to take a peek, make sure everyone's comfortable with that. Give me a nod if you're comfortable with the chord. Okay, you got it? Okay, here we go. Oh, hang on here. Just got to do a... There we go. Okay, so E minor sus4. Here we go on those string numbers. Ready, go. 2, 3, 4, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now to F. Okay, everyone's on it. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 3. And now the tab. String 2, frets 1, 3, string 1 open, string 2 open. The fancy C with the two fingers on fret 3 of strings 1 and 2. And here we go with the picking. 1, 2, 3, 2. And now on that second fret, let that 3 ring out. 3, 3, and that's the tab there. Okay, let's play that line one more time. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 4, 3. So I'm with that A minor / B, right? 2, 3, 2. E minor sus4. Everyone ready? Let's go. 2, 3, 4, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now to F. 2, 3, 4, 3. Now the tab. 1, 3. Oh, oh. Now that C at the end of that first line. 1, 2, 3, 2. And then hit the 3 again. 3, 3. Okay. Line 2 is almost identical. So if you can play line 1, the only thing you got to do at the end of line 2 is take a look at that difference there. You make a G chord. Okay.
My name is Murphy.
This happened in my stream yesterday too. Who was on there yesterday and heard my son's ringtone voice? His voice doesn't sound like that anymore. Donna can attest to that. He's got a much deeper voice than that now, but I'll just turn off my... There we go. I'll never get rid of that ringtone. His little tiny voice. So cute. All right. Line 2. Starts off exactly the same. The first 3 chords are the same. It's just that G is at the end, but even the strings that you pick are the same. Okay? And then the tab will be a little different. I'm going to talk with you guys about that tab too. Okay, A minor / B on line 2. Here we go. 1, 2, 4, 3. 1, 2, 3, 2. E minor sus4. 2, 3, 4, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now to our F. 2, 3, 4, 3 the tab. 1, 3, O, O, G. Ready on the G? 1, 2, 3, 2, and with the tab on string 1, 2, 3, O, and now 3 on the second string. Okay. Let's move on to that last little bit of tab at the bottom line there, okay? What I do is I line up, now I know my picture is going to be a little bit small, but I have my first finger on the 5th fret, okay? And then what I do is I just work my fingers across the fretboard and play the 7th frets as they come up. I wind up looking like this. I know it looks weird, but I don't lay down everything at once. 5, 7, 7, 5. See how I just walked my fingers along? Is what I do. Oh, sorry. 5, 7, 7, 5, and then I go up to 10. Okay, so let's do that part again, and I'll play it for you guys without the screen being shared so you can watch my fingers too, but I just want to work through that a little bit. So 5, 7, 7, 5, 10. It sounds so pretty at the end, and there's an extra little note at the very end that I haven't played yet. Okay, so that, now I'm going to stop sharing the screen. So I want to talk a little bit more about that ending. There we go. Okay, so I've got my 5, 7, 7. And then 10. You might hear a little glissando, right? From me. You hear that little zip where I kept my finger down on the fretboard? Okay. And that harmonic on the second string, that's where, if you haven't played a harmonic before, you'll see what I'm going to do is put my finger on top of the fret and not press down. I'm just going to rest my finger there and I'm going to pluck. There it is. So I hover my finger over my fret. And I find with this one, I'm going to be honest, I don't always play that harmonic at the end. That's why I put it on there so you guys have the choice, but I often just finish playing the song by hitting the note 10, but I wanted to write it down just as they play it, so you'll hear that in the song. But I find it kind of almost too much of an afterthought for me, but I think maybe it could be the way I play it, right? So it's up to you guys if you want to hit that harmonic. If you say to yourself, oh, that harmonic's not ringing out real good yet, practice it on the 12th fret. Okay? 12th fret harmonics are the sweetest ones to get because they should be right in the center of the string length. So that's where you can go. I'm going to flip my ukulele like this so you can watch. Again, see how, like, I'm not pushing down, I'm just touching. Just touching. And what I do is I pluck the string, it starts to ring out, and then I lift my finger. So I don't go like that and jerk my finger away. You'll feel the string vibrate underneath your finger. Then lift it away. And pick one string to practice it on, because you'll see your hand position changes, right? From string to string. I often recommend the 3rd string because it's a nice fat string, and not everyone has a low 4 tuning, but so the 3rd string will be the lowest that we know that we all have on our ukuleles. And if you say to yourself, well, I've got I don't know, I've got a soprano. Does it work on a soprano? Yeah, it does. I'll show you. I'll grab my soprano, which may not be in tune, just so you know. I'm just grabbing it off my wall here. It's not in tune. But you can hear it works out just fine on my daughter's kitty cat ukulele. So you can play it on any size of ukulele. And I mean, this was $25, I think, when I got it. So it doesn't have to be expensive. Everyone's playing of harmonics, I find, is a little bit different. When I say that, I mean, like our hands are not all the same shape, same size, so you're going to find what works for you. For me, playing harmonics, you'll see I often use my middle finger. Some other people might want to use their pointer finger. It depends on you, okay? Sweet spots to get harmonics, definitely the 12th fret, okay? Next one up after that I find easy is 7th fret. Not 10th. 9th, it's okay. 5, 7, and 12, but focus on 12 when you're learning harmonics, okay? Oh, Donna, you gotta go. Okay, well, thank you. Thank you, Donna, for coming in. You'll be back next week. Right on. Maybe the smoke will be gone, and I won't have, like, smoky colored paper for you guys. Harmonics, take your time with them. Okay? Take your time with them. I'm going to play When the Children Cry again, that second part. Okay? I'll serenade Donna as she has to leave. Here we go. A minor / B. Okay. 1, 2, 4, 3. 1, 2, 3, 2. You'll notice something. Actually, just let me talk about that for a second. The first part of When the Children Cry, I sat there and I picked strictly like that, right? For this part, I've moved and my thumb stays on my 4th string. So it's just something to think about. And you may play it a little differently than me with the picking, and that's okay too. Okay? Here we go again. 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2, 4, 3. 1, 2, 3, 2. E minor sus 4. 2, 3, 4, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4 to F. 2, 3, 4, 3, and then the tab. 1, 2, or 1, 3. Oh, oh gives you a chance to make your C. 1, 2, 3, 2. Next line. Okay, E minor sus 4. 2, 3, 4, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4 to F. 2, 3, 4, 3. Then the tab. 1, 3, O, O to G. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, O, 3. Okay, now that last line. 5, 7, 7, 5, 10. And then if you feel fancy. Ah. See? Every time I do it, it seems like a anticlimactic. Maybe it's me. I don't know. I'm going to end on the 10. After that G, they don't have it written the way I have it, or they don't play it the way I have it written. Okay, you're going to hear something different if you're playing along or if you're listening to them, because now I've got it written in a different key that works out well for ukulele, right? It's not the same key as what they're playing, but they do it like this with that G. 1, 2, 3, 2. I am not going to make you guys do that yet. It'll be coming. You know it will with me, right? But not to start. So you'll hear a trill. It's a hammer on and then a pull off. If you're comfortable with hammer-ons and pull-offs and trills, by all means go for it, but I don't want you guys to feel that pressure. This is already a song that a lot of you don't know, with picking patterns that are all over the board for the second part. So 2, 3, 0, 2. works out just fine. Okay. But I will show you a close-up of what I did there, just so you know, and so it's in the recording on YouTube, okay? So I play once. I need to go to a kid's baseball game, and you can hear my tummy growling, so maybe I need to go too, hey? Bye, Robin. Okay, I will stop the live stream now. Doreen, hi! You weren't able to get into, oh no, you're on Zoom there too. Okay, well, we're good.